this paper for me represents you turn around and return to the paper which I did about 10 years ago, a paper which Ravemolen and I did in 2001, where we actually defined an object which is called serial rule and studied it a bit. And this paper, what it is doing, it is presenting an axiomatic characterization of that serial rule, and between those 2 points, this one and one in 2001, I actually did not look at this serial rule or things very similar to it. So it's really turning back to the old story. And also my role in this paper is a bit limited, and the main reason my name is on this paper is that I'm a lazy bum with attention deficit disorder, which means that I cannot really get through somebody else's proof if it is more than 2 pages long. So the only way for me to understand what's going on if I read somebody else's paper with long proofs is to put the paper aside and sit down and try to figure out the proof myself. Okay, so that's the prehistory. Another part of prehistory is that I probably I will start with a description of the story. So the story goes back 10 years ago. At that time, Hervé and I, we were looking at the random assignment model, which is a very, very simple story. You have a bunch of indivisible objects, a bunch of agents. Each agent wants exactly one object, no more, no less. And each agent has ordinal preferences of object, namely each agent orders object somehow. Each guy knows which object is the best, which one is the second best, etc. Okay, so that's a very simple story. And then we have to distribute those objects between people. So we cannot cut objects into many objects. We don't have money, so people who get good objects cannot pay people who get bad objects. Which are of course very unpleasant sometimes, because people could have arbitrary preferences. In particular, they can have all the same preferences. So some of them get very good objects, some of them get very bad objects. So natural question is what to do if we still want to be fair to those people. Since we don't have money, a reasonable thing to think about is to try to involve some lotteries to toss a coin, and then at least ex ante, before the coin is tossed, people feel that they are treated fairly. So it's a very simple issue. So again, we have a set of indivisible objects, set of people who are interested in exactly one object each. They can have arbitrary, strict preferences over objects. And we want to distribute those objects between people, so we want to create a mechanism which asks people about their preferences, and on the basis of those preferences gives out an allocation, which object goes to which agent. And since we cannot use money, if we want this mechanism, this